Welcome to Whachacha's Tabletop World, the channel devoted to the love of board gaming. My name is Sweetness Whachacha, and today this is a playthrough of Mythwind. Okay, so right off the bat, a couple things to talk about. This is obviously, as you may have surmised, a solo playthrough. I'm playing with the Farmer, which is the least complex character. This is not an overview or a review of the game. I will have those on the channel as well. You may detect in my voice, I still have this cold if you've been watching me the last couple of weeks. Hopefully I've just rounded the corner, so I apologize for that. Now, if you're thinking about watching this because you want to play the game or thinking about purchasing the game, there are going to be some spoilers, I guess, light spoilers. There are some event cards which you're instructed to put into play. Those are, you're going to have those spoiled, I guess, to some degree. The game is, I'm led to believe, very, very long, so or pretty long. So I don't know how much that's going to impact things. You know, I don't think I think the story element is a part of the game, of course, so you may have some spoilers there, just be aware, although, like I say, I really don't sense that there's going to be a lot. So, you're probably thinking, oh, you know, hey, have you spoiled this for yourself? Well, I normally like to be pretty well prepared. I like to play a game ahead of time, maybe once, maybe twice, maybe it just depends on how many times I have to play it before I feel comfortable on camera, so that I don't have to waste a lot of time looking up rules and things. But this is one that's sort of more of a journey, I guess, and I do want to enjoy it for myself, and I also feel like I shouldn't know anything going in for this first playthrough. And so I don't really know anything about this game. I do understand how to play it, so you'll have to forgive me if I have to consult the rulebook every now and again, because I'm not as firm on it as I would be on other games. Another thing to talk about is how long am I going to play this? Well, the game kind of is indefinite. Like, you can play, your play session could last for days and days and days, or it could last for 10 minutes. You know, that has a saving system set up and stuff. So, you're not meant to play it. I guess you're kind of meant to play it almost as a video game. I think that's kind of an interesting thing, because like this is a little review territory, but there's a lot of games that out there that, video games that are you just play for fun, really. There's no losing, and apparently there's no losing in this game either. So it's very interesting. We'll kind of see. But yeah, so we're going to start with the least complex character and just play maybe the first season, see how long that takes us, and whether that's something that will continue or not. I am drinking, I've got my tea here. I'm drinking a signature Earl Grey, which is like a fancier line from Twinings that I got in the London store, which is the original Twinings tea store. It's not exactly a mom and pop. It still is a little bit corporate, but it was kind of cool to go in and kind of check that out and be in London and stuff. And the tea's very good. It's not my favorite Earl Grey, but it is a very tasty one. Still a little too hot. Okay. All right. Well, let's take a look down at the table. Okay, so we've got our board set up. Everything's all set and ready to go. There's actually not much randomized stuff, so I made sure to get everything done as much as possible. I've got my book here, which is for the Farmer's Journal. I'm going to be using this quite a bit. I'll probably have to look in that, and then the regular town charter. I'm going to leave this pretty close at hand because I think I am going to need it. I do like to always make sure this is all shuffled up here. We're going to pull out 1, 2, 3, 4. I think those first two are potato. And that looks like strawberries. Yeah, strawberries and potatoes. I can't remember what the other crops are, but we'll put that over there. You can't see it, but that's okay. It's not really necessary for now. I've got my little bank here. I've got my tools, which I don't really expect... like I said, just looking over and just kind of like getting a little bit of a sense of the game before I started, it does look like these are, most of the tools are very expensive. They're like 20 coins, 10, 15, 20 coins. There are a few here I've set aside that are only 5 coins. Those I might be able to consider. Now, I also have my special skills here, and I've got the skills for 2 and 3. I'm going to actually just get these out of the way because, we're at a real premium for room here. Because 2 and 3 skills require specific sprites to be in play. And I don't know, they could be an hour from now, they could be 10 minutes from now, it could be 2 weeks from now. I have no idea how long it will take to get those in. So we're just going to remove those and get them out of the way, but know that they are part of the farmer's kit. I'm also going to shuffle up the weather deck here. And once that's shuffled, we'll place it in here. And the last thing we need to do is roll these guys. Well, pretty impressive miniature. Look at that guy. That's the farmer. I was thinking I might paint these actually. There's only 4 of them, and it's a lot easier to paint things when they're larger, I guess, than when they're smaller. Although it does take a little more time to go over the ground. But this guy looks like he's mainly the same colors. Anyway, you didn't come here to learn about that. Let's try rolling up these dice. The human and the sprite. Okay, they say if you roll as empty here, you would re-roll again. So not too bad in the results there. That's probably mid, yeah, probably middle ground, because 1, 2, and 3, yeah. Okay, I've got my starting money here, 5 and 5 coins. This is going to be my little area where I'll operate from. We've got the the buildings here, and now likewise, again, I could be wrong on how easy it is to get money and stuff, but it seems like, you know, you got to buy these crops and maybe tend once per round. So maybe you'll get $5 a round, but it takes $5 to get 2 workers. So some of these buildings require so much, and this one requires, like this abattoir here requires 2 workers, which would ostensibly cost you $5, and I've only got 1 of that style worker, so I can't even really get that one. And I would assume they're in an order that means that they're the least expensive to build. Like this one requires all of these goods, which, you know, we only have 1 of each, and you know, getting the goods is like $5, $10, $15 a piece. So none of these look like they're gonna be entering the game anytime soon. Maybe that hotel 2200 or 11, excuse me. So that's not too bad. Although still quite a lot considering the resources. Could cost me 10 or 15. Okay, so I'm gonna have these here. It's very unlikely to look at that fishing ground. Adventure card. Okay, that's kind of weird. All right, so yeah, I'm probably not gonna build anything too soon. We'll see how we go there. I might pause it for a bit though and look through that stack at some point if we're thinking about doing that. Okay, so we've rolled up, we're ready to go. Here's the first turn. The first thing we're going to do here, I'm just going to run through this every time to make sure. We're going to determine the weather, which is going to be with a drawing of this card. Okay, it looks like a rainy day in the springtime here. We started the spring. Now, this could end up being one of these 2 things. Okay, so rain does not give us anything in the springtime. We're looking for a sunny day, which makes thematic sense. So that's going to check the season effect, resolve weather effect, resolve farmer weather effect. Then we're going to perform the town action, which is the first thing, and figure out our alignment. Okay, so it makes sense for me, I think, to get some workers straight away. Getting $1 isn't really going to change much for me. Okay, so we are going to do that. We're going to pay $5 here, and we're going to get these 2 workers. Now it's 2 for this guy and 3 for this guy. I did notice these trays can kind of tip them a little bit. Okay, and I have to determine my alignment. Let's see what we'd like to do. I think, just from reading the farmer's rules, it does seem like you can only really plant and get, you know, harvest 1 item at a time. And then I was thinking, well, the other thing to do is to be a rancher, is to get these cattle and start breeding the cattle, but you can only get cattle ones at a time too. So I'm kind of tempted always to find a specialized track. I'm gonna be the rancher, let's do it. I'm gonna be the, you know, I'm gonna grow crops, let's do it. But I think this is gonna demand a mixed strategy. So I think what I might do is kind of, you know, go back and forth between those 2 kind of actions. So let's do the planting first, or actually I'll do the, I'll buy the cow first. And the only reason is because if this ends up being a sunny day, I'll get to plant for free. So I think that's what I'll do first. So we're going to put this, take the 3. So we're going to, when we just determine our alignment here, which we're looking here to do that, we're going to take this human side, and we're going to go and decrease this to 2, and we're going to put on this steer, and that's going to be livestock before the following up to 1 time each in any order. So we're going to spend 3 to buy a cattle or a steer. We'll put them right in there. It fits in there nicely, actually, nice and snug. And we can't remove any livestock, move them, or breed them. So I think we're going to just go ahead and leave that as it is. Okay, so that was a very quick first turn on our very probably long journey here. My long journey, you're probably going to be joining me just for 1 season. Perform the town action, perform worker. I know I'd love to get this skills, but they require quite a lot. So this green thumb skill is going to require strawberry and 2, looks like beans. And so each of these is going to require some significant, looks like 3 each. But they are very good because you get like these extra actions, which, you know, this is kind of weird because I'm tempted to be efficient about things. I'm like, I gotta get these skills out. Then I can be doing more. There's no losing. And I don't know, is there winning? I don't know. If there's no losing, there can't be any winning. So this is a very confusing one for me. So I guess maybe I should be sipping my tea and just kind of enjoying it. And I guess that's what we'll do. Okay, so that was the first thing there. So that's it. And we're going to return my character, return my workers. Okay, so he's going to go back into my little area here, reservoir, whatever. And replenish the crop market. Well, I didn't take any crops, so I don't need to do that. Okay, so we're going to start the next turn. I think this will start to kind of pick up a little faster here. We've got a cloudy day, and this symbol here means move up the construction tract here. But I don't think the queue. I don't think that's going to be happening for a while now, but we'll see. Wow, I only have $2 left. Wow, okay, so I would like to buy another steer. So maybe what I'll do this time is I'll go here again. I might clear some land just so we can see some of these different things that are available to us in the game. I do understand that. But I think what I might do is make use of some of these for a moment, and then I'll maybe go along with a little of that. But I'm going to go here. I'm going to declare my alignment to be the sprite, because I think I am going to take this, or yeah, I'll do the steer again, actually. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to take $1, a coin, and then I'm going to go ahead and make my alignment still with the orange here, the human, and I'm going to decrease it by 1, put it here, and then I'm going to choose to put a cattle here. Okay, I'm going to buy 1 for 3, and then I'm going to breed this cattle. Okay, so that's, you can do this in any order, so I've bought that. And now I'm going to place 1 livestock token in the farmland next to one of 2 adjacent livestock tokens. Okay, so I'm going to put them there. So that's a little baby calf. So I'm starting to get a little bit going there. And then I can move them to a new location. So I think move 1 livestock to this. So maybe what I'll do is, so that I can do this kind of again and again, is I might move him up here, and then I can kind of put another one there and sort of breed them there. So that's kind of nice. Okay, so I was kind of banking on getting a sunny day so I could kind of do that just, you know, for free. That's okay. Okay, so that's it for that. Very quick again. I'm going to return the character, replenish the workers if I need to, but I'd rather do that. And then replenish my crop market, which I don't need to do. Okay, so then we're going to go on to the next turn. I'm picking up speed here. Here we go, sunny day. Okay, so let's first check now that we have 3. Rain, cloud, and sun. That's not what we have here. So you have to go in that order. And that would give you an additional effect here, so we don't have to worry about that. But it is a funny day, a sunny day, giving me the ability to plant a crop. So I'm just going to take this free one, especially since it's $5. And I think what I'll do is put it here, as out of the way. Actually, probably here is better. No, because that was my plan for the other cattle. So let's move. Let's move here, and then I can put that other 2 for right here. Okay, so we're putting it on its untended side. Okay, so now, kind of tempted to keep these cattle moving, but I don't have any money left. That's going to be an issue here as well, so I'm probably going to have to harvest this or tend it. Although I am kind of excited to check out some of these other things on the board. But I think it might be worthwhile to have a little cash just in case one of them gives us a choice or something like that needs some cash. So maybe what we'll do is we'll tend this, and then maybe we'll harvest it next turn. I kind of want to keep these equal because I want to be able to buy them both as one action. Again, that's very odd. Like, why? Because it doesn't really matter, does it? No rush. Okay, so we're going to take... although I guess I could do... This is clear land. I can clear land or... Sorry, this is build a building. And this one is clear land, but it's also something else. I have to just... Sorry. Again, normally I would know this a little bit better. But I just wanted to remember there's 2 different things. Oh yeah, that's the adventure action. Okay, so that's the one where we involve an adventure card. So that's kind of cool. Improve town or discover land. Okay, so that is oh, okay. Yeah, that's the other thing. I was trying to remember what the other thing for this is, and that's this, which is to buy stuff, or that's to, you know, remove the, to clear land. Now, clearing land is kind of interesting because I don't think it actually costs you anything to do it. That was a bit foolish of me to close this so quickly. The adventure card does seem to be very interesting. Spend 5 coins to remove a forest card from any location. Okay, so I do have to spend 5 coins. It is interesting that it's not printed on there. Although I wonder if it's on one of these things. Now the other thing is about clearing the land is that discover 1 land for every character. So that is, we'll, you know, get our first goal there, which is kind of cool. Improve town. Okay, well, again, sorry about this, folks. This is... Is that considered to be discovering 1 land for every character? Yeah, I mean, okay, so I need some money to do that. Okay, so we're going to go here. We're going to take a coin. This longhouse is a popular spot for this farmer. And we're going to declare the sprite alignment here. And we're going to take the sprite card and we're going to turn it to a 1. And we're going to put it here. And that's going to, that's gardening, sorry. It's going to be tending. And we're going to get to flip this, okay, to that side. And that's all we can do. But next turn we can use this token again and we'll be able to get that that $5, and then we'll be able to do the discover land. Just kind of see, that's going to like let us see what happens when we do discover some land, and then it's also going to give us this special little thing here. Okay, so we're going to come back. These are going to slide over. We're going to grab another out of the bag here onto the end. Okay, so let's start again. So we're going to need a new weather card. Okay, now I'm gonna we're gonna move that up maybe. Let's just move this one up a little out of the way here. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3. Okay, so still no match there. Okay, but it is going to be an event, I believe. That's the event symbol. So we're going to draw our first event here. Okay, let's read this here. More locals. So this is event number 1. That's what they instructed to put here. There's nothing else there. Sudden crashing sound booms across the town. At the source of the commotion is a pile of wood set aside for its construction that has collapsed. I read that at a very odd cadence. Trapped underneath, it is a panicked-looking creator sprite. It cries out, "Help! I was only trying to tidy up the pile!" The terrified sprite is carefully freed and gives thanks before embarrassingly scurrying back into the forest. Read event 2 immediately. Okay, so we're going to remove this from the game. And luckily that's right on the top of the stack. So we've got event 2. The creator sprite that was freed from under the woodpile returns to town. He introduces himself as Ponk and takes your group into the forest where there is a gathering of many unfamiliar sprites. You overhear them talking about your town, occasionally in a surly tone. Once they notice your presence, however, they scatter and hide in the greenery. Ponk looks embarrassed and scurries away as well. How odd. Perhaps they got shy. I don't think that's the case. Shovel events in events 3 and 146. Well, that's a very odd selection. 3. I can see the 3, but 146 seems a bit much. Okay, 146. So 3 and 146. Okay, so those events are going to get shuffled in. Okay, and they're going to go right there. And then this one is going to get removed from the game. Okay, now we are ready. Okay, for the next thing, the rain does not trigger anything for us. And now we're going to, I forgot to put this back in my tray. Okay, that's full. Okay, so I don't have the 5, so I should really tend this, and I think I'm going to need some gold. So that's for that. It is kind of cool to go on an adventure as well. But let's do what we set out to do. Let's just do this. Okay, so we're going to do here, take 1. We're going to choose the sprite. Oh, actually, it can be either. I think we will choose the sprite though, because I do want to use that to breed maybe another cow. So we're going to reduce that to 0. That's going to become the harvest action. And then the harvester clear, either remove 1 crop token from the farmland and gain the amount of coins shown on that token, or remove 1 untamed land token from the farmland, spend the amount of coins. So we're going to do this, and we're going to get 5 coins, which is going to fund our little expedition. We sold some strawberries, some delicious looking strawberries. And now we're going to be able to fund our expedition in clearing out a little path here. Okay, so that's it. I return my character, return my worker. This is going to get re-rolled. Okay, and placed back into the tower. This is the tower here. It really does. This art really looks like, I didn't look into who did this, but it really is evocative of sort of the sleeping gods kind of look. It's pretty. Okay, so that's re-rolled. This doesn't need to be filled, and that's it, right? Okay, next things up is the next turn, so we're going to need to get a new weather card, which is going to be, that's going to move the queue up, which again, we don't have the construction queue. And this is rain, so it's possible we could get that. So we got to be aware of that, which is going to minus a food. Which, that is a food, right? Everything's kind of got a different food. Yeah, food, culture, income, production. That's what those symbols are. Food. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay. Well, we said we were going to go ahead and clear land, so that's going to make us go here. This is a sprite action, so I should think about that for a second. I don't actually have anything to do here, so I know I said that's what we're going to do, but now I realize how the planning works out here, because I'd have to get this die back. That's unfortunate. Okay, so we're going to prolong that for a turn because I do want to use this up. Then I want to buy this again, because I feel like I want to do it both at once. You get that. Oh, you don't get a savings, actually. It's a detriment. Huh. Okay, so then we will do... I need this... I don't need the sprite action. Oh, I will be aligned with sprite, but I won't be able to do something here. That's the difference. Okay, let's go here. We're going to spend 2, and we're going to buy this. Oh, excuse me. Here, yeah, here. And we're going to... So I think I kept putting... I might have put myself up there before. Yeah, okay, so we're going to spend 2 to get myself a die, which is this little guy. And we're going to align ourselves with... This is kind of not great. It's just a little 3-pointer, but who cares? We'll just do that. Well, that's only a... See, it's kind of weird. So this is going to be $4 when it's done, but it costs an extra $1 to get it. So it actually end up making the same amount either way, which is like basically nothing. Because this will get me $3, but it cost me $2 for this. Although, no, it's not quite true because the pips, you get multiple pips per thing. Okay, so we're just going to do that. We'll hire them, and then we'll just plant that. No, we'll do this because then we'll put the orange back. Okay, so we're going to put them here. It's going to decrease to 0. We are going to breed... oh, that's... Yeah, I guess we'll just breed another cow. Yeah, that's what we'll do. And then we'll move this cow over here. Okay, so that's... Now we don't have to spend any more money on cows. We can just keep making cows. At the end of the round, this will go away. This doesn't need to be refilled. We're fine. Okay, then we come back and we get ready for a new turn. Okay, but this is a little bummer because we might lose the food here. But let's see. Put my die. Oh, I put it back in here. That was supposed to get rolled again. Sorry. And then placed back in here 1. Well, that's not great. Okay, this is going to be a sun. Again, moving the production queue up, but we don't need to worry about that. And that's going to allow me to freely plant. So I'm just going to take this because I need my $5 here. Oh, here's my other cow. Interesting. Huh. Did I buy that? Or I guess I could keep... I mean, I can't imagine that cow just got there, so yeah. Okay, we'll put these... Oops. Put these right here. And leave it at that. Okay. Now let's do what we said we were going to do a little while ago. Okay, we're going to align ourselves with these sprites because we have this sprite here. And we're going to pay 5, and we're going to clear some land. Now, I did see that fishing spot earlier. which probably be under F. I guess these are alphabetized. Oh, so they're not actually placed in order in terms of like affordability. They're so that's still pretty expensive. But I did see this fishing spot, and I was like thinking fishing ground, and it says adventure card. So, oh, I guess that must give you an adventure card. But to build this thing, I'm gonna have to figure out. We're gonna look up that because I'm kind of curious about that. So what I think I'll do is, just in case we would get something like that. Oh, this is a jail. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and clear like this land here. I think because this looks like a place you might fish. Although I guess there's mills as well, but there's multiple water spots here. So let's get rid of this one. Okay, and this is going to give us any kind of a good that we want. Well, now might be a good time to... I'm just going to look for the least expensive buildings because these others seem so... This one here, Quarry, what does that do for you? At the end of the season, it gets you a industry. Well, that's not bad, but that's not going to help us in the short run here. I know I want the winery and the printing press. Those sound just aesthetically or thematically. I like that. I like to make printing presses, and wine is very tasty. There's a port, lumber yard, lumber mill. That seems like a lot easier. That's hired villager down. And $4 will get you that. Okay, so that's kind of neat. All right. All right, so I'm not going to spend a ton of more time looking through those. Okay, so we've cleared this out. That gives us a good... Oh, that's why I was looking at this because I was wondering what to do. So maybe let's just... I know playing a little quicker to be online here. That looks like hair, but it's like or fuzz or something, but it's on the board. Printed on the board. Okay, so we cleared the land. That's going to go away. And now we're going to get, this is completed. Now technically we put this little guy here to say one of us had done it, but that's the only person in the game. Discover one land for every character. And now we have a new goal, so that'll give us a little more guidance. Okay, so you gain a industry, right? That was the industry symbol, production, excuse me. Shuffling goal 9. Interesting. So actually, you're not supposed to have just any old goals. Oh, I think I was instructed to do this in the beginning. Yeah, okay. So I would shuffle in goal number 9, if that was the case, or we would lose a food. Well, that seems like a no-brainer to me. Let's gain this, although that's what I gained a second ago, so we've got quite a bit of that now. Okay, so now we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to shuffle in goal number 9, which is a little out of the way there. Goal number 9. I'm not going to look at goal number 9. I'm just going to shuffle them away. Okay. All right, that looks, that was good. Okay, that was the discover a land. And now, let's see what our new goal is here. Production must be 4 or higher. Well, that's kind of convenient there because that's what we just took a bunch of. Oh, and it's number 9, so that actually follows. Okay, so that's kind of cool because this now incentivizes us to do this to get this goal. And maybe sort of get a little bit of a snowball effect here. Now I still can do my town thing. This was a sprite action. I only have a sprite die, so that's okay. How did this happen? Oh, because I can't do this. I can't do that, so I might as well just do this. Right, that's the only real thing I can do here. Or I can harvest, which I don't have anything to harvest. So we're going to move this to 1, and that's tending, and we're going to flip this over. Okay. All right. So pretty successful so far. End of the round. This he comes back. We move these over. I grab myself a new field or crop. New crop. Okay. And we start a new turn, which is determine the weather. Of course, we don't need to read that anymore. I feel like there's. Oh wow! Look at this. We are almost done with the first season. Look at that. We've got 3 more rounds. Okay, so at the end of the season, a bunch of stuff is going to happen, but the town's going to get overgrown again. My fields are going to get overgrown and stuff like that's going to happen, but you actually don't suffer, I think, those penalties for the first season. It's giving you a little bit of a time to get your feet on the ground. Or wet. Your feet go somewhere. Okay, so that's what we have to do here. We're going to bring this out, and it is another event, and it's a cloudy day. So first, let's see, rain, sun, and cloud. Rain, sun, and cloud. Okay, so that is going to give us a... Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so that's going to give us a benefit here. Rain, sun, and cloud. Yeah, look at... Oh, is that... Yeah, look at that. I saw these little dots here, and it made me think they were rain as well. Okay, so now we get an event. We'll trigger that in just a moment here. Let's do the event first. This is event number 3. About the tribes. Okay. Fix greets your group and apologizes for the confusion with Ponk in the forest. He got overly keen. We sprites are secretive and don't want warm to outsiders easily. Fix taps herself on the chest. Well, not all of us. Sorry for not warning you. She then explains that there are 6 sprite tribes, of whom some have uncertainties about human beings being here. Humans being here. Human beings here. Fix suggests you find a way to show them your good intentions. Shuffle in events 4 to 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That's going to leave play. And we're going to shuffle these. Ooh, they get shuffled in, so we're going to move this as well. All right, next up. So that takes care of that. I don't have a thing here, but we do get this goal is met. So production must be 4 or higher for 1 and 2 players, which it is. So this is successful here. Okay, so build a building for 2 fewer resources and gain 2 of these guys. Well, that's great. Or each character loses $2 per building in town. Okay, well that sucks. Well, I can't anyway. So build a building for 2 fewer resources. So now maybe I'm going to make a note, and give me a minute to look through these buildings. Okay, so I thought about it a little bit, and I just reconsulted the rules for for building things. So I think the trading post is probably going to be the best bet right now, because we can build it, and it's going to be basically give us $2 to get any good. So some of my goods are very, very expensive to buy, so I think maybe this is the best choice in order to catapult us into buying the next buildings. So maybe hopefully that'll help us get a little leverage there. So I think that's the best thing to do. Now you get to build it for 2 fewer resources. So we have a lot of production. So I think maybe I'll just get the 2 free ones on these 2 guys here, the culture and goods. What is the other one? Income and culture. So we'll just take it out of that, the production. And we will build this. Now it's going to go into spot 1 here, the Q spot 1. So this is the kind of queue. It's kind of a neat little thing, actually, because you're so used to just building the buildings, and this is sort of like, okay, well, we put it in the queue, we've decided to build that, and you're slowly building it up. So it's kind of a neat thing. Okay, and we're going to shuffle in goal. Oh, we get to get 2 of these, culture, and shuffle in goal 16, which is what we're going to do now. Shuffle in goal 16. I didn't think we were going to need all this stuff over here, so I'm glad I kept it handy. Okay, there's 16. We're not going to see what that is. We'll get rid of that as well. Okay. It's kind of, well, I guess you can't see the stuff that came out. We'll go on an adventure, I think, probably this turn, simply because we should see everything there is to see, right? Okay, so that's our new goal. Construct 1 building. Okay. So does that mean construct it since this goal is up and available? Or does that mean... I guess that means because the building is constructed through that action, right? So does that mean I have to use that action? Begins the construction process. So I think it means, like, once this comes out, it'll help me get that goal. Well, it seems like they intentionally have made this so that you'll be able to do quite a bit right away. Okay, so that's quite a lot that happened before I even used my action on the board here. And now I think the best thing for me to do is to go on an adventure just to see what that's about, right? So we're going to just make sure real fast that going on an adventure doesn't cost us any money. Again, it kind of seems weird that they wouldn't put like a little thing there, $5 to clear a land or something on those. It's interesting, although it might change later, I suppose. So going on an adventure is going to just be adventure icon. Yep, that's it. You just go on an adventure. Okay, so we're going to go here. I can pick either. I only have the blue here. I forgot to move that back. So I'm going to align myself with the sprites. Although I wonder if that makes a difference when it comes to the adventure. So this kind of neat. It has this this cardboard piece here is on top, so you can't see what it is. Since they're double-sided, they can't put them. Okay, so this is going to be sort of like Dead of Winter, I guess. You know, you're going to read a little story here, and we're going to make a decision as to what to do. Okay, hunting mishap. Well, that's not good. You've been tracking a prize buck. It's taken hours to get to this point, but the opportunity to line up your shot arrives as the stag grazes in the field. Suddenly you receive a blow to the back of your head and everything goes black. Well, that's interesting. Looks like we're not alone in this valley. Or the sprites, maybe. One of the tribes, maybe they protect the local fauna. Okay, so we're going to flip this over. When you come to, the first thing you notice is the splitting headache you have. The second are the unusually large barefoot footprints nearby. Evidently, someone snuck up behind you, although they didn't take anything. There's no sign of the buck. Shuffle event 125 into the event deck. Okay, so we need 125. That's kind of cool. This all reminds me a little bit of, what's the Robinson Crusoe, where you kind of, something happens and you end up having a little bit of a story happen. Okay, this is going to get shuffled in to our very small event deck here. So I thought these were always kind of choices, but it looks like in the beginning they're not always choices. Okay, so that's that. It does have this as well, but I guess that means maybe I am aligned now with the sprites. Okay, so we're going to use this here, and we're going to harvest. So we're going to take that to 0, and we're going to harvest this for a measly 3. And sell those strawberries for $3. Since I have no money, that's probably pretty good. Okay. I guess I could start selling these cattle. I mean, I could put them to use by buying some equipment also. Maybe that's something to do. Okay, that's it for this phase. Okay, so now this is going to get re-rolled. And go, oh, that's pathetic. Okay, and go back, and then this is full. He comes back, ready for a new turn. Okay, so only a couple of rounds left here. This is 1 and 2 left, right? Yeah, okay. So here we go. Sun. So that's going to let me plant for free, which is great. So let's go ahead and do that. Untended up, right there. Okay, and then we're going to get an event card. So let's do that. Right here. Call to the valley. An elderly man rides into town on his rickety mule, drawn cart. Wow, I am not the best reader. My cadence is all over. Okay. As an elderly man rides into town on his rickety mule-drawn cart on an otherwise unremarkable day, he stops in the middle of town and begins to unload. When questioned of his intentions, he simply smiles and says, "I've been called here by our Creator to be with you wonderful people." All on his own, he begins to build. Okay, so place the chapel on the 4th space of the construction queue. Okay, this guy's like he's like a wandering pastor or something. Okay, so we've got the chapel. It says place it on the 4th space of the construction queue. So that's going to go here. So we're not going to see that for a while. And I wonder how many of those there are, because I would love for this to be here for the end of the season, but it doesn't have to be, I guess. Okay, so here we go. So that's the read the event. This goes out, and we're ready for the day. Okay, well, we have just enough money to purchase one of these, and so that we can do an action. It's a really expensive couple of workers there, though, unfortunately. Oh, I forgot to... Oh, no, I did this right now. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to do. I could go here just to get it get $1. And the other thing is, I guess I could be doing these not just to sell. Oh, so I think I can maybe have these here and then take these as well. So maybe that's what I should do. Now that actually would have been a good use for that. I just had that strawberry, which is only worth $2, but these don't matter how much they are. So that was probably the thing to use that for. Okay, so that's a little, so these are all like $4 and $5, obviously. So this, so unfortunately, that's not, those I'd rather, you know, get the money for, but okay. So let's, I can't get another cattle, although I can breed them. So let's just do that. We're gonna go here, we're gonna get $1 because I'm really don't have a lot of money here. I did all these actions, right? Yeah, I didn't do this action, but we were able to do it through other means. Next, yeah, I don't really have, I have some resources. I could think about buying another building, although I have to clear land before that building comes out. So this is gonna go here, this will go up. I'm gonna actually need to get some more money before that happens. Because I need to clear a spot for that. Otherwise, it just stays in the top of the queue and it backs everything up. So that's something to think about. Okay, so we're gonna spend 2 and get this die. And then we're gonna align ourselves, of course, with this villagers. I think I called them humans before villagers. And we're going to, I think what we'll do maybe is keep, well, first what we're going to do is we're going to breed 1 cattle. We're not going to buy any livestock. So spend 3 coins, place 1, okay, sell. So I can sell 1 as well. So why don't we breed 1, and then we're going to sell 1. So that'll give us $3. So that's a pretty good, that's actually a pretty good action. Now, actually, just having 2 of these, I could just, every time I did this, I could breed and sell. However, this rancher one allows you to breed as well. But you can only ever sell any number of livestock tokens. So actually, I'm gonna sell 2 of these guys. So that's what I'll do. Okay, so now that you can breed any number of them. So I wonder if I didn't do that properly before. But now the nice thing is that from now on, this is like a farm, literally a farm, to gain me $6 each time. But maybe next time I'll just do 2. I guess if I have a bunch of them and I could just be making quite a lot of money, I can see that that's a really good thing. Although this is kind of cool too, this little rancher skill here. Does that allow you to do every single, like breed everybody? Because then I wouldn't have to take the action and do it anymore. Although you still have to take the action to buy. Okay, oh no, yeah, so you can only breed, I was correct, you can only breed once per turn. So this rancher one is probably a good idea to get. Okay, so that isn't quite as profitable as I thought. Okay, so that was the turn. This is gonna get re-rolled, okay, until we have some result. That's much better. He's gonna come back, these are gonna slide down, and we're going to grab another one here. Okay, then we're gonna go to the last weather card here, which is going to be cloudy. Cloud, sun, cloud. We get to build a building. That's fantastic. And we're going to get an event card. Okay, so first, let's do this in order. Make sure we get, okay, determine the weather. Check the seasonal effect. Okay, so the seasonal effect is going to be this. This is, everything's going to go up. So this is going to come out. This is going to move up. And this is now going to give us one or the other here, culture or production. I think I'm going to take production, and then it's going to give us another worker. So I think you put him back into the, let's roll him, he or she, I guess, and put them there. And then we're going to build this in the only spot we can. The trading post is going to be right there. So now we have a trading post. And kind of liking this, how this feels now. I'm feeling like now things are attainable. I guess you get, now that we're used to how to play the game, it's going to be quite interesting now to see like how we can build up our town. Okay, and then check the seasonal effect. which is determine the weather, check the season effect, resolve the weather effect. Oh, so that should have been first. Okay, well, sorry. So we'll just have to keep that in mind, which is an event card. Swamp sprites. The swamp sprites aren't hard to find, living near a large swamp at the valley's edge. They aren't too concerned about your group or the town either. Even as you speak to them, it feels as though they're ignoring you. You could try being nice and putting on a campfire party for the swamp sprites. Okay, so interestingly, I think maybe because we put 4 to 7, okay, events 4 to 7, that's maybe 4 of the different groups, perhaps, of the 6 tribes. You may put on a campfire and lose a culture, which we have it to lose. Shuffle in event 48 if you do. Otherwise, shuffle in event 49. Then you set this card aside. When you resolve events 4 to 7, shuffle in event 8. Okay, so we're going to put this aside, and I am going to do that. So we're going to get event number 49. So let's move this down. I mean, that just makes sense, right? I guess we should talk about that for a second. Like, this seems like a no-brainer choice. Yeah, the goods are hard to come by, but it seems like pretty obviously like this is a good outcome. This is maybe a middling or bad outcome. Now that's assuming quite a bit, actually. We'll see how this kind of works out, because is it like the kind of game where like we are, encroaching, we're like colonizing their little place here, and maybe we're thinking like, we're going to do this nice little thing for you. And they're like, we don't consider that to be nice. So that's a bit, we'll see how nice or how gray or how like, it's like high fantasy versus like the other kinds of, more realistic fantasy, I guess, a gray fantasy. Okay, so we're going to shuffle in 48. So let's do that. Let's get 48. There's that. And we're going to pop that in here. Shuffle that up. Okay. Yeah, I think I was right about that. That seems to make sense that those are the other tribes. Okay, now it's kind of cool because we can actually take 2 of these if we wanted to, if we really want to lean into the ranching part of it. Although I do want to get enough of these. I want to start getting these skills in because that's just extra stuff, even though, like, I don't know, does it matter? Does it how long it takes you to build up? I don't know. Okay, so this is my last turn for this season, actually. So, about an hour to play through this. Of course, a pretty lengthy discussion here and a little, but yeah. Okay, so let's take our last action. Again, I would like to kind of see, is there anything that we can really do that we haven't done yet? And I don't think that's the case. We've harvested, I guess we haven't done this last one for the farmer, which is to buy or sell or move equipment. The equipment is quite expensive, but I guess I could actually do this now. So let's take a look. The only ones that I could really afford here are these guys here. Okay, so let's take a look at what they do. I think it's just like, you got to hook it up next to a cattle. So I probably should have created a new cattle. And I might do that. I have to buy workers, I guess I'm going to do anything. Okay, so these 3 here, this sickle here. After you perform the harvest action, you may harvest 1 crop from a field that is adjacent to the sickle. Okay, so that's going to give you a double move on that, a double action on that. Plow, after you do a plant action, you plant 1 additional crop in a field that is adjacent to plow, following the plant rules. Okay, but that's going to cost you some money here because you're going to have that extra $1 just to bring, to pay for the second crop. So that's less interesting to me. And then lastly, we have the sprinkler. After you from the tend action, tend 1 crop in a field that is adjacent to the sprinkler. So I think I like the sprinkler the best out of those. So we're gonna maybe work to get that. So let's do that. Okay, so we're gonna go. Now it's $5. So I'm only gonna be able to hire 1 worker. So let's go here. We're gonna hire this worker for 2. We'll put that in our tray, and then we're going to line ourselves, of course, with the villagers, and then we're going to do, we're going to bring this down to 2, and we're going to take this for 5. We're going to buy this equipment. We're going to take the equipment action here. Okay, so we can buy, sell, and move equipment, and we're going to put this probably here. So I can put another thing here, right? And that's a potato. as well. Yeah. Okay, so that'll be good because they're similar crops. Okay, now I do need to get a cattle next to here in order to flip this and make it operational. Then it will be operational. But I don't have it now. And again, let's make sure about that. That has to be next to... Oh, so it doesn't matter. So, but yeah, it's just whatever's next to this. So, in fact, I might do something like this. So if I want to put something, I can put it here and there. Okay. All right, that's pretty good, though. It's not actually active yet. So if you can see this now, it's inactive. I'd have to put a cattle here, and then I could flip this. Okay, I just did a quick look there, and it looks like this will flip over as soon as I put another cattle here. There's an active and inactive side. Doesn't look like you have to take that action to do it. The equipment action. Okay, so once we'll probably breed again, right? We'll breed one of these and then move the cattle down here just so that I can flip over, and that'll kind of start our little engine going there. Okay, so this is going to go back to here. He's going to come off of there, and then that's going to be the end of the season. So I'm gonna shuffle this up just for funsies, and we're gonna pop that right there, and then we're gonna take a look at the end of season now this is one of those where they. Okay, so when the end of season arrives, each character has their own upkeep steps to resolve. Characters can resolve their character upkeep steps simultaneously. Below is the summary of the end of season steps for the farmer. Okay, so resolve end of season actions. Okay, so let's just go to the main book here because it looks like probably all more of the same. It doesn't look like I have any special things there. So we're going to go to end of season. So anything that has an end of season action. Okay, so this little symbol here is what we're looking for, but we don't have anything that has that on it. Okay. Oh, we forgot to do this. Construct a building. So we can do that actually before let's do that real fast because I forgot to do that. So that's construct one building. Gain a culture, shuffle in goal 8. Okay, so we're going to do that. That's goal 8. Okay. And we're going to gain a culture. We're gaining more culture by building things. That makes sense. Okay. Or this, man, that's so. Oh, but I wonder, is it goal 8? Well, yeah, I mean, the goal's got to be good, right? Why would you ever do this? That's very strange. I hope I'm playing that correctly. Look in the comments below, I guess, to see if I'm like, oh, whoops, did something wrong. Okay, so I do realize I did make an error here. The goal card is just for the end of the season. Okay, so I did actually make an error here. I'm going to note it in the comments. I'm going to put it on the pin at the top. The goal card is only checked at the end of the season, so that was an error I made. And so, and then at the end of the season, we're going to get to look at the top 2 cards and decide which goal we want to go for. So we actually made a bit of an error there, as I believe we did a couple of these goals. So 1, 2, 3. We did 3 goals. So that was a mistake. And so I apologize for that. Yeah, that's again one of those things where you don't, where you gotta be careful, I guess. That's why I like to know ahead of time how to play the game a little bit better. But that's not a huge deal. It will impact me, I guess. But because there's no winning or losing, I guess I'll just take it in stride. Okay, so we've done that. We've done the resolve the goal cards. Reset the weather deck, which I did out of order. Change the season tile. The next season is going to be summer, of course. There it is. Okay, and there's different things there as well. We're going to regrow the forest, and then we can change characters. So the magic of the Mythwind Valley causes the forest to regrow rapidly. We ignore this step at the end of the first season. So, but in general, we're going to regrow these. So we're going to have to kind of keep some of these empty, anticipating the next thing to happen, the next season changing. So that's something that will kind of set us back a little bit. Okay, so I think that went pretty well, other than the fact that I did that wrong with the goal card. We had a little adventure, we cleared some land, we built a building, we kind of got a little bit of an engine going here with the cattle. Now at this point, you could save it. There's, as you saw me maybe a moment ago, I have this clear top here. You know, this would go over this. We would kind of like put this stuff away in these little compartments and things, and you could save the farm. This will keep the farm as I've got it here, and the dice that I've gotten here and stuff. So quite a nice little saving system, actually. If these were in here, if we were able to have built those, those would be in there, and they would be able to stay as well, these extra abilities, although I didn't get to do them this game, or this season. But yeah, kind of, I think hopefully that gave you a little bit of an overview of how to play it, or not an overview, but really just see how things go in action. Again, yeah, so we did an adventure, we did one of the goals, we had some, you know, a little bit of things going on in the town. We built a building here, you know, we cleared some land, and, you know, we got our little engine here with our cattle, and trying to get the farm going a little bit better with some of these tools. So yeah, kind of an interesting thing. Pretty light, I would say, in some ways. A lot to kind of memorize, but not a heavy gameplay in terms of big decisions. But we'll see like how things get a little more complicated or a little more interesting as we go along here, and we get other buildings here. Now there's a whole stack of buildings, so like there's only so many spots to put them. So that's kind of interesting. There's only 11, 13, they're all out of order. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Yeah, so there's 13, unlucky for some, 13 different spots for buildings. So that's not a lot, although some of these buildings will overwrite others. Kind of interesting. Okay, so look for my thoughts on this if you're interested, and I don't know if I'll play another season or not, but if I do decide to do that, that'll be up on the channel as well. But for now, I gotta roll.